I'm so happy you could join me again today. We are going to be talking about Donald Trump and our elections. We have to secure our elections. The Senate, Thune, he won't pass the SAVE Act. He will not even put it up on the floor. And Murkowski, she won't vote for it either. So it's like, the voters put these guys into office and we get absolutely nothing as the citizens of this country that would like to have non-citizens not voting in our elections and have free and fair elections. So we know the true winner, because I believe that these guys have been cheating for a while. The Democrats, they've just cheating like crazy. Don't feel guilty, not one bit. No morals, no character, no class, no couth. These people are disgusting, a lot of them. We have got to pick better candidates. No scuzzlums, no foreigners, good American patriots. So President Donald Trump's former national security advisor, H.R. McMaster, slammed those casting doubt on American elections as doing the bidding of our adversaries. Yeah, right. The question came after Trump's widely criticized speech to the nation, in which he claimed his administration had found burn bags left behind by former President Barack Hussein Obama, the one that started all this division in this country, and insisted China was attempting to influence American elections. Gothamer asked McMaster whether Americans should trust in their electoral process. Now I'm going to let you hear this.
I didn't find what you said about election doubt, but you said some pretty powerful things. Give me another minute or so. What's happening? Who's behind it? And should Americans trust in their electoral process?
Yes, first of all, yes, Americans should trust in the electoral process. Certainly there are improvements that can be made, and I think in the face of these kind of attacks to reduce our confidence in the outcome of elections, we should do everything we can to make elections more transparent and more secure while guaranteeing access to all qualified voters. I think there has to be some movement forward to make it more transparent, whether it's IDs, whatever it is. I know that Congress is working on this. To your point, really, what our adversaries want is they want Americans to doubt the legitimacy of the result. And what happens too often, whether it's the president or whether it's certain members of Congress, of both political parties, when they raise doubts about elections, they're actually doing the bidding of our adversaries. This happened about the 2016 election. We know what happened on January 6th of 2021. We see these current statements by the president, but I think anytime a political leader compromises confidence in our democratic processes to score partisan points, I think that they're actually aiding and abetting our adversaries who want to reduce that confidence. So I think it's incumbent, on all of us to be more transparent and more secure with our elections, but also hold one another accountable if somebody is trying to raise doubts about the legitimacy of our elections.
See, that's where moral character comes in. If you don't have any moral character whatsoever, then, you're not going to have quality people that are going to be honest and have integrity. They're going to be scoundrels. They're going to lie. They're going to cheat. They're going to steal while we sit here being honest and being a good citizen by going and voting like we should. And our vote doesn't even count. How disheartening is that? And it's so scary because we have communists trying to take our country over from within now. They're not even trying to hide it. We've got the Islamists, jihads trying to take over. And we've got, they're taking over the communists and the jihads is what we got to worry about. That scam Dami in New York, he's both. He's a communist and a jihad trying to arrest Netanyahu. That guy is disgusting. He needs to be denaturalized and booted the hell out of our country. And we've got to stop electing foreigners in our local and state and federal government till we can get good ethical people in our Congress that will actually pass laws that are beneficial to the American people, because right now they're not. They did pass the SAVE Act. They did for the fourth time. The Senate is the one holding it up. So if you can Google who is my senator, And it will bring up whatever state you're in. It'll tell you who your senator is. That you only have 2. Every state has 2 senators. Call your senator and say, look, pass the SAVE Act. We need voter ID. What the Save America Act does is it makes you have voter ID and proof of citizenship. That's the key thing. The voter ID, China was sending in tons and tons of them with ballots in the 2020 election. But this, you have to prove that you're a citizen as well, because they're getting these illegals to vote. And even if it's 10, a local election can be swung by 10 votes. Even if it's 10, oh, it's only 0.0001%. It doesn't matter. If it's 1, that can cancel out somebody else's vote, or that could swing the election by 1 vote. A local election can be swung by 1 or 2 votes easily. So having any fraud whatsoever in our voting system is unacceptable in every way. And we have got to put our foot down as citizens of this country. We have got to make those phone calls. I don't know if you guys have ever seen before in my videos, but I'm going to tell you again. When you call your congressman or your senator, it's a voicemail, and they have that on purpose so that constituents can call and voice their either, their opinions on something, or their grievances, or their praises, whatever they feel like saying. So when you do call, it's going to just give you a voicemail, and you just simply say, look, I'm a concerned citizen and we want voter ID. Please pass the Save America Act. And that's all you have to do. And anytime anything comes up like that, you can always call your congressman and senator, and you just Google it, who is it? And it'll tell you right there, and then it'll give you the number, and you just call it, leave a message. And each person that calls, they count as 1,000 people. So they figure that, within a district that has, roughly 2 million people in it, okay, per se. You get one person calling about one issue, you got to imagine that there's probably another 1,000 that are going to feel the same exact way as that person. So they count each constituent that calls and leaves a message about a certain issue. They count that as 1,000 people being interested in that issue. So the more people that call about the same issue, the more that it's counted as thousands. So each person, you get 10 people that call. If 10 of us all call tonight and leave them, that's 10,000 people that they've counted, that these senators are going to go, hey, I'm getting a lot of calls. And when they go meet up again, because they left for a 2-week hiatus, again, they have the most time off of any person I've ever seen that collects over a $200,000 paycheck. It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. And we need secure elections. I cannot believe they won't pass the SAVE Act. It's just unbelievable. And we have people meddling in our elections as well. So we're John Bolton, he's going to jail. Yeah, we've got to get these communists out of our country. We are on a road to hell if we let them get into any kind of real power. They shouldn't even be in any kind of power at all whatsoever. None. Absolutely none. We have DeSantis passed a Save America Act here in Florida, so that's good. I love DeSantis. He's a good governor. I don't know, Rubio's pretty good too. I sure would like to see Rubio. Get in there, because he's tough on immigration. I like that. Yeah, his version of the SAVE Act. DeSantis signs Florida's version to Save America Act, draws immediate lawsuit. Of course, the freaking Democrats. I swear to God, these people, why do they fight everything that the citizens want? We want secure elections. We want safe streets. We want to be able to go to work and come home and be okay. We want good wages so we can buy our house and raise our families. What is wrong? Why don't people want us to have that? I mean, we are born just like they were born. Just because we don't have as much money. And all these communists that are running, by the way, they're all elites, every single one of them. Not a single one has ever struggled a day in their life, ever. Not one. They all have money. Every single nasty little female that's in New York, foreigner bitch that's run in Colorado, they all come from wealth. They all came here, their parents came here illegally, got rich, shitted out a kid, an anchor baby, and now they're running for office to run Americans. Foreigners that hate America, are rich from capitalism, want to abolish it, and make us suffer because they're so jealous of Americans. We cannot have foreigners running our lives. We cannot have foreign judges making decisions about Americans. They are born and raised in another country. That is just such an insult to the American people. And we are going to have to get tough, people. It's time for us to take our country back. We cannot just keep sitting idly by. It won't work anymore. We've got to get out there and we've got to vote and we've got to pay attention. These scuzzlums are trying to get in. If that thing's got a rag on its head, we will not ever vote for it because they lie. It's called tafia, and they are told by that book, the Quran, to lie. It's called tafia, in order to get the ends of their false god, Allah. So anyway, Governor Ron DeSantis on Wednesday signed into a law a sweeping new Florida election measure designed to mimic parts of the federal Save America Act that immediately drew a lawsuit from a coalition of voting and civil rights organizations. The group filed the federal lawsuit in Miami on Wednesday through major provisions of the measure, including new proof of citizenship requirements and a ban on the new use of student photo ID for voting. Will not take an effect prior to the crucial 2026 midterms, which is kind of sad. I wish it would take effect before the midterms. Our Constitution in the state of Florida says only American citizens are allowed to vote in our elections, and so we need to make sure that that is the law. DeSantis, who expressed skepticism that the Save America Act would be passed by Congress, signed the measure at an event held in the Villages, in a Central Florida GOP stronghold. During the hour-long event, however, he did not comment on President Donald Trump's freshly signed executive order designed to put new restrictions on mail-in voting that could potentially upend processes currently in place in the nation's third most populous state. Oh yeah, Donald Trump, he put in an executive order to direct the post office not to give any mail-in ballots unless they have verification from the voter rolls. Yay! I'm so happy he did that. We've got to get his executive orders codified into law, which is not happening, and we need to have that happen ASAP. So the new law adds proof of citizenship requirements and increases the role of state agencies to confirm citizenship. Backers of the measure contend many Floridians would not be affected because roughly 99% of those with driver licenses are already compliant with Real ID standards that require documentation such as birth certificates. But opponents who are now calling it the show your papers law, so what? Too bad, so sad. They can deal with it. They maintain the new requirements will ultimately lead to eligible voters being pushed off the voter rolls. Bullshit. It will not. Including married women. I'm married and I had no problem. They change when you sign up for your Social Security card, you get your ID changed, your name changed. It's no big deal when you're married. Trust me. They're making it up. Just like the communists are lying about free. Including married women who have to change their names and older minority voters who were born in the South and may not have birth certificates. Please give me a break. The lawsuit, filed Wednesday, also questions whether it would affect Puerto Ricans born before 2010 who came to Florida following natural disasters such as Hurricane Maria. The groups that challenged the law, the League of Women Voters of Florida, Florida Immigrant Coalition, Florida Rising, Common Cause, Hispanic Federation, and Unidos US, of course, a bunch of foreign freaking nonprofits trying to rule Americans. I'm so sick of it. You know what? It's liberal Democrats that went to college, rich, have no morals or ethical standards whatsoever, and they graduated these colleges indoctrinated. So, if we could pass a bill that would stop women from voting, I would give up my right to vote. As a woman, I would. If it would stop the liberal lunatics that are screwing up all of our elections, the ones out there chanting and running around with blue hair and baggy pants, and then you've got your school marms that look like they came from the Quaker days, like the lady that got elected in Seattle and Virginia. They wear no makeup and they have the real pointy noses and real school marm mean looking faces like they need a bonnet on their head from the 1800s. They make me sick. They're so nasty. Ugly ass women. And then the scuzzlums, oh my God, those Middle Eastern women are, woo, they look like men. You would never even know they're girls. People are rough over there, boy. They need to get out and go back over there, every single one. We cannot have them in our country. It's a burden on our tax base. If they're on food stamps, they need to be cut off from any kind of public benefits whatsoever. No foreigner should come to this country and rely on the public dole. If they are a financial burden on the public, they have no business being in this country whatsoever. We only want people that want to come here to become Americans, to live the American way, to follow American laws, to learn the American language, and to pay American taxes. Okay? That's what we want from immigrants. We don't want all this third world shit that's come over here. It's disgusting. It's bringing down our housing. It's bringing down our way of life. It's bringing down the quality of our life. It's not fair to us that we work so hard and we've got people just scamming and robbing us blind. Plus, they're on the dole as well, getting welfare. No. Why are they on our welfare? That is unacceptable. And these laws, this next Congress that comes in, and when we get the supermajority in the House and in the Senate, which I believe we will, the polls are, favoring us in that aspect. We need to make sure that we call every day, if we have to get good laws put in place so that those Democrats can't ever come back into office and open up the borders and let in rapists and killers. Look at what we have been through the last 4 years. We have been psyoped. We have been lied to. Charlie Kirk murdered in front of us. Even the ones that made fun of it, they're brainwashed. It was still traumatic. It's traumatic to everybody. All the attempts on President Trump, my God. And, these Democrats just keep on out there with the rhetoric over and over. They won't stop. Those people need to be put in jail, in my opinion. But if they're allowed to go out there and talk like that on a consistent basis about other political opponents, to the point to where people are trying to kill them, something's got to be done. Something has to be done. And it should, obviously they're not following any kind of ethical American, norms like we have in America. People hold the door for the next person coming to the door. It's just common courtesy and manners that nobody has anymore, it seems like. What has happened? We used to have a very courteous good morning and good afternoon country. Now it's just sneers and greers and foreigners everywhere. What a nightmare. Look at what the Democrats have done since they have elected a crackhead gay, married to a transvestite from Africa, forged a birth certificate from Hawaii, scuzzlem into our government. Barack Hussein, scumbag obliviation is what he did to this country. Abomination is what he is. Well, guys, that's my rift. Remember, no matter what life throws your way, you still have potential. God bless you, and God bless America.